Good Friday evening. Welcome to BCP Live. Hi, I am Joey McWilliams. Glad that you are with me tonight, and I appreciate everyone who is stopping by over the course of the evening. Bryan, man, I see your little emoji already, so I'm glad that you are here already, ready to go, and giving the thumbs up. So shout out to Bryan already, and anyone else who may stop by tonight. So thanks again for watching. I thought this white shirt would be a neat idea. I've actually worn a white shirt with the GAC logo on it for some of the videos I've been doing for the Great American Conference this week. And so I thought, well, the white shirt might be a good idea. I think, am I glowing? I'm not sure. Sometimes I glow anyway. That's all right. I'm looking at it at a different monitor now, and I think it'll be all right. If it disrupts your viewing in any way at all, let me know. But that's okay. All right. Look, let's go ahead and get started. And I want to say thank you to some of the advertisers and sponsors for the broadcast already. Didn't get to thank them yesterday. We did the live stream of the Durant Class of 22 graduation parade, which I thought that was so cool. And so we wanted to do that and didn't want to take up too much of your time with all that. So Mrs. Patriot and I decided that one broadcast, at least for that, was enough. And we wanted to really give the time to, to the graduates, to the class of 2020. Yes, Bryan, it's a little bit bright. It's a little bright. But I'm one monitor has me just glowing, but the other monitor is, I see those sunshades. That's all right. Anyway, because of all that, we didn't thank the advertisers and sponsors yesterday. So I want to thank a lot of folks and just make sure I get that done in the first part. So, barbecue stain? Do I have a barbecue stain? Really? I'm not seeing it. Oh, man. Okay, well, all right. Man, if you're seeing something, Jamie, that I'm not seeing, my goodness. All right. Greg. Hey, listen, Greg. We need to talk sometime. Yes, congratulations for your graduate as well. I saw you all when you were driving by, but you were looking to the right when I was on the left. I couldn't quite get in your attention there, so anyway, but congratulations to your graduate as well, and thank you. I appreciated that. It was a lot of fun, and it was a good thing to do. So let's say thanks to some of our advertisers. Do want to say thanks, by the way, to Greg Phillips Insurance, and glad Greg's stopping by tonight, as well as the Friends of the Library, Holmes Coffee Murray Funeral Home, Kaimichi Tech, DW's in Calera, Castile's Tire, also in Calera, Alliance Mortgage Group, Modern Abstract, Shelburne Heating and Air, Texoma Engraving, got to visit with Susan today. That was always good. Woodman Life, Cherokee Communications, also in Calera, Durant Riding Club Pro Rodeo, which will take place on June 19th and 20th, and I believe that is a go. No, it's still a go. Anyway, Green Spray, Hub Club Nutrition in Texoma Engraving, Omnicare 365, SNL Collision Center, Stuteville Chevrolet, and Workout Anytime. Thank you to all of the cool sponsors. Yes, Bryan, it made me look. Okay. Hey, listen, you get up here, you put yourself out there for people to look at, and I guarantee you it'll make you self-conscious. That's for sure. It'll make you self-conscious. So anyway, all right. I'm watching all of the little emojis go up. Thanks for everybody for stopping by tonight, trying to see who all's here. Paula, I am glad to see you. Jamie, thank you for stopping by as well. Logan Thompson, man, how about that? Glad you are stopping by for a little while tonight. Hope things are going well for you in West Oklahoma. All right, let's get to a few things here really quickly. And I know I'm flying solo tonight, which means either, a short broadcast or we could go until, Sunday. But I think it could be a shorter one. I do have something on my heart that I want to share tonight, something I really feel like needs to get across. It has bothered me for nearly 24 hours now, and so I definitely wanted to get it out and know if you guys had seen this or not, because it was new to me yesterday, and man, it was giving me fits. So I wanted to get that out there. All right, so where was I? Oh, I know, flying solo tonight. And I wanted to see if you or of anyone in Bryan County who has already dealt with the virus, a confirmed positive, and you've made it through, you'd like to talk about it, I'd love to have the chance to talk about that with you. Now, I heard Dr. Birx today on one of the national press conferences, and she was saying something that we've been hearing for a while anyway. And the number she gave was 35%. She said, according to the CDC, and she was talking about that, it is likely that 35% of the population has already dealt with this. Many people are asymptomatic. Now, you may still be carrying the virus as it is, but asymptomatic. 35% of the population. That's a pretty big number. That is a very big number, well more than 100 million people, okay? Just think about this for a moment. We're talking 9 digits of the population. So, there's that. Think about that. But this has been bothering me for a little while, and I wanted to talk about it tonight. So anyway, what I wanted to offer was if you know of someone who would like to come on BCP Live, this is the first time I've actually offering an opportunity to visit with me on BCP Live. I would be interested in talking to you about your experience, talking with whoever that person is, whether it was a traumatic experience, what went into it for you, and so that we might be able to, have a local feel to a story that really has more of a nationwide feel. I mean, we have 20 cases right now that are confirmed positive in Bryan County. 20 cases. Only 5 of those cases are active right now. And so, it's one of those things. The flip side of it is I don't want to, here's that if y'all been hearing that word dox lately, I don't want to dox anyone. I don't want to bring anyone out into the open who doesn't want to be out in the open. But if you wanted to talk about it and you wanted to share your experience, then I just wanted to give that opportunity. So there it is. The opportunity is out there. Thank you, Dottie. I appreciated that a whole lot. Boy, we were yelling at you, Rana, and her folks from Workout Anytime, definitely cheering on Kai as she went by as well. All of you as you went by. So, congratulations again to all the seniors. All right, Brian, man, you're jumping ahead of me there already, getting that word out. Blood drive in Caddo, June 11. June 11, blood drive in Caddo includes free antibody testing. We need to be talking about those blood drives, which are going to entail these. I also have word. I did get confirmation June 25th at the Durant Library, and also an opportunity for free antibody testing. And I think this could be really interesting. Could be really interesting to find out more about this. And I'm going to give blood. I was going to give blood at the Beats for Baby Blair blood drive because I really wanted to do that one. I wanted to do that, and I missed it. My fault. Nobody's fault but mine. My fault, and I missed that. And so I still am up for giving blood. So I'm going to either go to the one in Caddo or maybe go to the one in the library. Shout out, by the way, to Robbie and the folks at the library. My family went some last week. We didn't get to go this week. We're going to go again next week. I know there are many, 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 many protocols in place, but the folks at the library are and have always done a fantastic job. So shout out to Robbie and to Gina and to all the folks at the Durant Public Library for what you do. I think I want to go to that one just because I want to do that. I want to give that shout out. You're right. 5 cases, by the way, 5 active cases. And what that means is that number is less than 1/2 of 1/4 of 1/10 of 1% of the population of Bryan County. Just throwing that out there. All right. We thanked all the sponsors. Man, I already need this. Already talking too much. So, Danny, thanks for joining tonight. I appreciate seeing you come on, and I am going to preach a little bit tonight. So just giving everyone a little bit of a heads up there. I'm kind of anxious to test too. I want to find out. All right, we've talked about the advertisers. Let's talk about this one. I think this one is a really big piece of news that I'm not sure that everybody knows about yet. So let's throw this one out there. I did have this story, put this story on the Bryan County Patriot today on the website. Also wrote a short story very similar for OklahomaSports.net. and it is involving the Oklahoma Secondary Schools Athletic Association. So I'm going to pull this up on this monitor so I can read it right now. In essence, here's the deal. As of today's meeting, everything is back to as it was in the OSSAA. So folks in Bryan County, especially all you schools that have softball and baseball camps and basketball camps and all these things that you were concerned as to whether or not you were going to have, guess what? You can have them. And the OSSAA mandated protocols regarding social distancing and all of those things are off the table. Right now, everything is as it was according to the OSSAA handbook. Today, in a 7-6 vote by the OSSAA board, and I got some more information about that from my friend Kevin Farr, who was covering that pretty closely. It came down to the fact that they voted against continuing with the association's plans to continue the reopening process into phase 2, which meant it brought things back to what was originally there. And you're exactly right, Jamie. Play ball. It's time. Play ball. Now, should we be wise? Yes, we should. Do individual schools have the opportunity to say, no, we're still not going to have camps or we're still not going to do this? They absolutely do. And if some of the schools in Bryan County then decide that they don't want to have the ball camps or they don't want to have the clinics or they don't want to participate in the leagues or they don't want to do this, that is totally up to those school boards in what they do. And I will respect the school board's decision. Now, some decisions I may not agree with, and I don't have a problem saying that I don't agree with something, but I also respect the school board's decision to do it. And I'm really, really, really glad that it's in your hands now, school boards, school districts, and that the OSSAA, as in essence, the shackles have been removed. So there you go. And by the way, I'm not against the OSSAA. I don't want to come across as that at all. I don't want to come across that way at all. Not against the OSSAA, but I think that some of those were pretty tight. Now it's up to the school board. So Jeff Shelburne, listening tonight from Lightning Sea Arena. How about that? That is so cool. Loved the ride that you were making sure JC was in the parade for. Did anyone not see the steer coming down Main Street? You need to go back and watch that if you didn't see the steer. Jeff, I will tell you this. I saw the steer. I was looking down the road, and I've been looking back and forth, doing the live stream. I was looking down the road to my right and all the way down the street, past Pizza Hut, and just happened to catch this semi turning onto the road onto Main Street. And I'm looking like, that's the steer. Oh my goodness. That's the branding iron steer. It was epic. It was absolutely epic. So I thought that was cool. It was really, what a ride. Jamie, interesting point. Jamie says she thinks that it should be a parent vote, not school board. I don't know. I think that's why listen, I think in this instance, I agree with you. I can see that point. I think that's part of the reason that we elect school boards is so that we can have representation there, and we elect certain board members. We elect the board because we want the representation that we want, and if you don't want somebody on the school board that you feel like is not representing you well, then you need to make sure that person is voted out the next time that person's seat comes up for reelection. So I don't know. I think you have a valid point. But at this point, I mean, since it is in the hands of the independent school districts, they're going to be the ones to say. Superintendents are going to have a lot of say in this too. So, make sure if you have something you want said about what your school does, then definitely pick up that phone, email. Yes, Arlene, the school board representative, and we need to vote them in. We need to get the people in that we want to accurately represent us. So, anyway, Jeff, let me throw this one up here, Jeff, really quickly so everyone can see it. Jeff says, I'd like to thank the community. Say thank you to the community for the support that the seniors had last night. It was great for the kids. I agree entirely. I thought it was really cool, and I wasn't sure what kind of response. I mean, when we have a parade, if it's going to shut down Main Street and it's going to shut down First Street too, and I mean, we're talking about going all the way to Gerlach. you're going to get some attention anyway. And there were actually did have somebody drive by after it was over with and say, what went on? And granted, it was somebody who was a little bit older and probably wasn't following all the social media and all that was going on. So she didn't know. And, if you don't follow online, then, sometimes information may come up short through other means. So she didn't know. She thought it was really cool after we told her what was going on. So that was neat. And yes, the community support was incredible last night. Okay, Dottie, let me throw this one up there for you. So Dottie says community support was awesome. She also had a senior. Hope Durant seriously considers having a senior parade every year. I have heard that a number of times already today, and it's not a bad idea. It really isn't. I mean, this could be the start of something cool. Now, I realize that from one vantage, you want 2020's class to be special because everything else seemed to have, gone sideways for them. But that's a pretty cool idea. It would be neat. I think the support would be up for it every year. I think it'd be cool. And you talk about as the years go by, then what some more of these vehicles are going to look like. I don't know. It's a hard time topping the steer. I did like the giant mortarboard hats that were on some of the cars. That was really cool. Oh, that was a neat idea. So anyway, bottom line is this. And if you go to the OSSAA website, let's go back to this for a second. Let's go to the OSSAA website. So everything is now, it's free. It's done. I mean, I visited with an athletic director today, and his words were, that was a mic drop. And it really was. I mean, the small schools in the state of Oklahoma just said, boom, this is what we want to do. And I think, it was more small school representation that got this vote across. So that means props to, and with respect to Durant, 5A school, every other school in Bryan County is 2A or below. Do we have a 3A school? Silo should be 3A pretty soon. If they're not, they're pretty close to that border. I haven't even looked at the numbers for next year. The average daily members, the ADM numbers should be out. I need to look at those numbers for what's going to happen for next year, but Silo's probably pretty close. Anyway, everyone else it's small school stuff. And the message on the OSSAA website, this is it. This is the whole message. The OSSAA Board of Directors met in a special meeting today, May 22nd, 2020, to discuss summertime activities. The board voted to conduct summertime activities in accordance with the current rules and policies as stated in the Administrator's Handbook. That's it. That is all of it. That's all the OSSAA said about it. Done, period, boom. So that's what they're doing. All right. Graduations. Let's look. Can we? I know I can't bring that up. Phooey. All right. I can't bring this up, but I can read this to you. So Colbert's graduation was broadcast today on Mix 96.1's website. It's a CityLink TV website. That was at 5 today. And I believe you can go back and watch that too if you haven't seen it. Also, coming up now, June 5th, Kingston at 7 p.m., Ashley at 7 p.m. on June 5th also. You go to mix961.net, and then you click on the watch live, I believe. Then June 12th, 1 week later, 4 of them at 7 o'clock. Caddo, Rock Creek, Atoka, Caney, all 4, June 12th, all going to be on Mix 96's broadcast, streaming. June 13th, Pottsboro at 8:30 a.m., Silo at 10 a.m., June 14th, Calera at 1 p.m., June 17th, Tushka at 7 p.m., and June 22nd, Stringtown. Man, they're waiting a little while on this one. Stringtown at 7 p.m. Now, Colbert, Ashley, Silo, and Calera all have theirs on days that no one else is having theirs. Rock Creek and Caddo, I don't know. I mean, obviously, June 12th wasn't the original date that you guys were probably going to have your graduations. But I want to, as much as absolutely possible, strongly request that the county schools have graduations on different days. I really do believe it would be well supported. And when you have 2 graduations in this county on the same day, you're causing some people to have to choose. We just have too many folks with families that are tied to too many different areas. So And sometimes kids change schools. I know recently there were a number of kids, I mean, for a couple of years ago from Rock Creek, or last year from Rock Creek. Some went to Silo, some went to Caddo. And then, the graduation of some of those kids, obviously they're in a new school now, but still have friends. They're graduating at the other school. I don't know. There's a lot that goes on with all that. So anyway, I want to request that at least. Let's take a look here at the comments. Wow. All right. Trying to get all these in here. Community sport was awesome. My hometown parades. Jamie says my hometown parades. The seniors, the elementary school, and they high five all the kindergartners. Inspiration. Dottie, hoping this class has the opportunity to do this as classes have done in the past. So that's cool. That would be really neat. That would be really neat as well. And Kai, shout out to the McWilliams family. Well, the McWilliams family is giving a shout out to Kai as well, too. So there we go. And Kai, congratulations. Loved the lay. That was so cool. Many, many flowers. Here in Stringtown tonight, or from Stringtown. Well, June 12th, Danny. June 12th. So that's it. Yeah, but I won't tell anybody. Sorry, I didn't see that next comment. I already posted that one. That's all right. Okay. Robert, man, y'all are messing with me tonight. And I've got one more thing to talk about. So we're 20 minutes in, and now I want to get to what I really wanted to talk about tonight. But again, props to the Durant High School class of 2020 and to the Colbert High School class of 2020 as well. I've called a number of y'all's basketball games over the years. And so I really appreciate it. Always enjoy the welcome at Colbert. I appreciate that. I'm always treated well there, and I really appreciate what you guys do. And that's fun. Most places that I go to broadcast sports, by the way, I do broadcast sports, and there, take your drink. Of course, remember, Dr. Pepper is the beverage of choice for BCP Live. But most places I go, I'm welcomed in, and Colbert is definitely one of those places, and I appreciate that very, very much. Okay, numbers throughout the state haven't changed a whole lot. I mean, they're continuing to grow, but you really look at the bottom line here. Numbers as of today, May 22nd, 2020, 3 new reported deaths, which brings the total in the state to 307. 172 new reported recoveries, which brings the total of 4,533. Active cases in the state right now at 1,009. So let's get then to what does this have to do with what I want to talk about tonight? Well, I want to get right into the fact that we were not given a spirit of fear. And that's it. So hopefully you guys will stick around with me for this. We were not made to fear. Now, I say every night, let's be wise. Every night, let's use discretion. Every night, do not walk in fear. Okay? We were not given a spirit of fear. We were not made to be afraid. And look, people say, well, okay, look, a little healthy fear is good for you. I don't think any fear is necessarily good for you. Now, you can have respect. And this goes back to, okay, Joey, you're talking about semantics here. Not really. Not really. Let's go back to the whole truth thing for just a moment. Truth is not relative. Your perspective is relative. Your perception of the truth is relative. But the truth is not relative. Truth is a standard. Okay? Well, here's the same thing. We don't have to be afraid. But Joey, a little healthy fear is good for no. You can have respect for a situation and not be afraid of it. Okay? I am not afraid of a car. But I'm not going to walk out in the middle of the street. I have respect for the car that's coming in Durant, and on some roads, and some city roads in Durant, people drive way too fast, by the way. But in a city road in Durant, let's say 20, 30 miles an hour, that's still enough to do some damage. You step out on the highway, 65 miles an hour, I get information. I'm on a distribution list from the Oklahoma Highway Patrol, so I get information for lots of things in the state. And there have already been a couple of pedestrian deaths this week of a person in front of a car. Car hit the person died. Do we need to be afraid of cars? No, we do not need to be afraid of cars. But you don't step out in front of a car at 65 miles an hour. Do you need to teach your children? No, don't do this. You teach them respect for the moving car. But who in their right mind would teach a child to be afraid of a car? You get in it and go places all the time. Why are you going to be afraid of a car? You have respect for the car going down the road at high speed, but you don't need to be afraid of the car. Okay, here's the deal. I mean, I don't want to get stung by a yellow jacket. I don't want to get stung by a murder hornet, by the way, either, because 2020. But anyway, I don't want to get stung by a yellow jacket, and I'm going to get out of the way of that yellow jacket, and I'm going to move pretty quickly. And if I see a wasp, if I'm sitting out on the front porch and I'm typing on my computer, I'm in the shade, may have the fan blowing, whatever the case may be, or if it's winter, I'm cuddled up and I'm outside, type, because I'm, seeing something different. But in the spring, and now the wasps are coming in, and look, I'm going to move quickly. I may swat the thing. I may duck. I may move quicker than you thought I could move, but I'm going to move and get out of the way. I'm not scared of the wasp. I respect what the wasp can do to me. I also know that I'm much bigger than the wasp, and if the wasp gets too close to me, I can step on it, swat it, beat it, whatever. I don't know. Snakes? No. What are they called? A snake is called a nope rope. Okay. Again, you don't... I don't think you have respect for the snake. Don't get where the snake is. Move out of the way quickly. Kill the snake. But don't live in abject fear of the snake. Now, Sharknado with laser beams. Now, Brian, you may be going up that level where fear kicks. No. We're not going to go there. Anyway, the point is, we're not designed to be afraid. I want to tell you, I want to say it again, 2 Timothy 1:7. God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. I'm going to quote another scripture to you here in a moment because it gets me. Okay, I'm burying the lead. Here's the lead. A judge in Texas has determined now that mail-in voting will be allowed in the state of Texas because fear of the coronavirus has been determined to be a disability. And someone who has a disability should not have their right to vote taken away. We're not going to disenfranchise someone because of his or her fear of the coronavirus. We have now not only made this disease supernatural, but now we have made the fear of it an actual judge-told, judicially activated disability. Congratulations. You've taken it a step further. I did not know that I should have known. We all should have known. I don't think that we can honestly look at the TV or look at the internet anymore in 2020 and be surprised by anything that anybody in any position says about anything. We've given this thing, again, space virus, we've given it supernatural abilities. Any symptom whatsoever can be a COVID-19 symptom. Doesn't matter. You could be asymptomatic and still you could possibly die of this disease without symptoms or knowing you had it or testing positive for it or actually being able to spell coronavirus. I don't know. Anyway, the point is, refer that to the previous comment. Let's look at this really quickly, and let me share the screen with you so you can see just a bit of it. And we're not going to go too far in it, but the judge, what in the world? All right. Is that it? There it is. Vote by mail injunction. So here we are. And let's go ahead and let's scroll up to the top of the page just so you can see this really quickly. And I hope that I'm not losing viewers by the second, but if I am, I'm sorry because this warrants your attention. All right. So here we are, and I'm going to read this to you. This is a PDF. United States District Court for the Western District of Texas, San Antonio. The Texas Democratic Party, Gilberto Hinojosa, chair of the Texas Democratic Party, plaintiffs, and versus the governor of Texas and the attorney general and all you folks here. Now watch this. Here's the motion. Taking a statement from the Declaration of Independence, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by, the thing. No, I'm sorry. That was a Biden flashback. That they are endowed by their creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. So not satisfied with what the Declaration of Independence says, this order on the part of the plaintiffs and the lawyers that the plaintiffs have decided that, you know what, that's not good enough. We want to take it a step further, because the founding fathers in the Declaration of Independence, they didn't have any idea what was happening 240 years in the future. So let's go ahead and say 240 years on, Americans now seek life without fear of pandemic, liberty to choose their leaders in an environment free of disease, and the pursuit of happiness without undue restrictions. I'm sorry, but I didn't read that in the Declaration of Independence the first 1,000 times I read it. You added words. You made it say what you wanted to. You led the question. All those things you did, the Declaration of Independence does not originally say that. But because you want to get your point across, you go for it. And it goes on down in procedural backgrounds and so on and so forth. So we get down to where the judge starts talking about what he wants to say. And I'm sorry, I'm going to scroll down here because we need to understand exactly what we're dealing with here. In the previous case, the evidence has shown that there is no widespread voter fraud. You need to look at some more evidence, but that's neither here nor there for right now. Let's go to this page right here. Here we go. Going to read to you from page 7. The Texas Election Code defines disability as, quote, physical condition that prevents the voter from appearing at the polling place on election day without a likelihood of injuring the voter's health. Disability is also defined as, quote, a physical or mental condition that limits a person's movements, senses, or activities. Clearly, fear and anxiety gripping the United States has limited citizens' physical movements. No. Let's take this down for just a moment. Get off the screen for a moment. No, the fear and anxiety that has crippled people's movements, number one, came from you, the media, came from you, the politicians, and our movements have been crippled not because we're afraid, it's because you locked us down. You shut us down. You're the ones who shut down the businesses. You're the ones who told people they couldn't get out of their houses. You're the ones that told the people that they should be scared about everything in their own shadow, for the love of Pete. So it's not just the fear that's gripping all these people. It's not just the fear that's causing people to stay home. It's you. Don't push this on us. Don't push this on fear. Let's bring it back up and see a little bit more of this. A new study shows COVID-19's psychological toll. Distress among Americans has tripled during the pandemic compared to 2018. Really? Distress has tripled according to compared to 2018? You mean when people weren't telling us that if we walked outside or got within 6 feet of someone or touched someone else or didn't wash our hands or didn't spray something down that we were going to die instantly? Is that there's a difference between now and 2018? Are you serious? That you have to put that down on paper and try to convince us that your ruling is for our benefit is a joke, sir. It is a joke. And I don't find it funny. We move on. The evidence shows that voters are right to be fearful and anxious about the risk of transmission to their physical condition. Are we really? Are we really right to be scared because the CDC changes its opinion every day? We're finding out this week, on the same day that guidance was sent out to show schools how they should operate, walking at a distance, having everyone above the age of 2 with a face mask on. Try to keep a face mask on a 5-year-old for 9 hours in a day or 7 hours or however long that is. Just try to keep that. We're turning the schools into prison camps with all these guidelines. And on the same day that this comes out, the CDC also publishes, well, this virus may not stay on hard surfaces as long as what we originally thought. I don't think we're right to be afraid of anything when we don't know what it is we're talking about on a regular basis. I go back to experts say, who's an expert? You change your mind all the time. We are constantly told that this is a coronavirus. No. It is a novel coronavirus. Novel. That means it's new. That means we don't know what it is. Nobody's an expert about a novel virus. We're trying to figure it all out, and we keep hearing, we don't know what's going to happen in the future. Could change, could be the same. We don't know. It's always going to be different. We don't know what's going to happen in the future, so keep being scared in the meantime until we figure out how to freak you out even more. But I digress. Let's go back. The evidence shows voters are right to be fearful and anxious about the risk of transmission to their physical condition. Texas saw the largest single-day jump in coronavirus cases since the pandemic began this last Saturday. Tell you what, let's go there. Let's just actually go there for just a moment then, okay? That means I'm going to have to take this one off the screen, and I'm going to have to put another one on the screen. Let's find this largest daily increase in Texas cases. You know what? The judge who wrote that down is right. He's exactly right. On May 14th, Texas reported 1,448 more cases of the coronavirus, an increase of about 3%. The state, that's the most that it has had in any one day. What they didn't tell you in this story, TexasTribune.org, look it up, TexasTribune.org. What they didn't tell you was not only was that the most cases reported in one day, it was also the most testing that had been done in one day. By a long shot, more than 49,000 people were tested that day. 1,448 were tested positive. That's less than 3% of the testing. So 97+% of the people who were tested that day did not test positive, but they didn't tell you that. And it doesn't say anything at all about it in this ruling from the judge. So we go on. The court finds such fear and anxiety is inextricably intertwined. You really wanted to sound smart there, didn't you? With voters' physical health. Such apprehensive will limit citizens' rights to cast their votes in person. The court also finds lack of immunity from COVID-19 is indeed a physical condition. Sometimes you can't read these things without laughing out loud. Really? Lack of immunity from COVID-19 is a physical condition, is indeed a physical condition. Now, see, Mrs. Patriot, I'm not the only one who uses the word indeed. Don't know that I want to be classified in the same category with this person, but somebody else used the word indeed. Of course, it's a physical condition. And you know what helps with immunity? Getting out and getting in contact with the world around you. May I go back to the doctors who were excommunicated so abruptly from YouTube when they said, we don't quarantine healthy people prior to 2019. Nobody's ever quarantined healthy people. You quarantine sick people. And all we've done is try to drop our immunity level by keeping everybody in their houses. It's about time. I saw a report on Yahoo News today, and it said, summer's coming around. What should you do? Scientists will tell you. Well, first off, that got the hair on the back of my neck already up because I was ready just to go off on this. And they said, you know what? You should go outside in the sun. Really? 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 Should have been outside in the sun before. All right. Are we back to, and have I pulled up the right screen again? Okay, no, I'm not on the right screen. There we go. And stop licking the shopping cart handles. That's all I have to say about that. If you just stop licking shopping cart handles. Sorry, I'm having a hard time keeping up with the comments tonight. I apologize if I'm a little behind, so I'm sorry. Let's go back to this vote by mail injunction so we can read this together, and I hope you can see this. If not, I will put the link to this in the comments section, and I'll try to get it in the description on YouTube if I haven't been shadow banned from YouTube already. That's happened to me once already, just in case you were curious. Okay, the court finds such fear and anxiety is inextricably intertwined with voters' physical health. Such apprehension will limit citizens' rights to cast their votes in person. The court also finds that lack of immunity from COVID-19 is indeed a physical condition. One's right to vote should not exclusively, but not be exclusively based on the whims of nature. Really? Really? And a part of that, citizens should have the option to choose voting by. This is the line. Okay, this is the line that honestly makes me want to throw things at the computer, then throw the computer, kick the computer, get a scene from Office Space, go off on the computer, and then march across the Red River and find somebody to throw the remains of my computer at. Citizens should have the option to choose voting by letter carrier versus voting with disease carriers. Are you kidding me? Are you calling me a disease carrier? You don't know me. By the way, even though 35% of the population probably has already come in contact with this virus in some sense already, according to Dr. Birx, that means 65% of us haven't. So who are you calling a disease carrier? I have some nice descriptive terms that I don't use, by the way. But I know some nice descriptive terms besides disease carrier that I have. And that's all I'm going to say about that. So fear has become a disability. Now, there are two things I want to say about this oh my goodness, it's past the 40-minute mark. Okay, well, anyway, for those of you that are still watching, write me an email and tell me why. No, I'm glad you're here. And I hope somebody else watches this too. Two more things we need to know about this. Number one, if fear is a disability, you have just opened up the door for people to take advantage of this in ways beyond anything that you have possibly grasped. Where are the benefits now for all the COVID-19 disability people who are afraid? Where are the benefits? You've got to take care of it. If they cannot go vote, clearly they cannot get out of their house to work. Well, they're going to be fired. They're going to lose their job. And that's discrimination. You can't fire someone because of their disability. But now you've told me that fear of COVID-19 is a disability. So now we should be getting our COVID-19 disability checks. Jamie, you're right on it. It's exactly right. And you're ahead of me. Don't be ahead of me, Jamie. I've got a show to do. You're ahead of me. I want my blue tag. If I'm afraid, if I'm scared of COVID-19, where's my blue tag? I want a better parking place. Are you serious? I want my blue tag. Why should somebody else get a blue tag? If I'm disabled too because I'm afraid of COVID-19, then I need all of those benefits. I need my blue tag. I need you to be able to make special doors on my car. Just take care of me. Take care of me, government. Please take care of me because I clearly can't handle life without you. Now, look, okay, I'm taking this to the extreme. So you see the ridiculousness of it. If you are in a certain demographic and you are not allowed, you don't want to go out of your house because you are susceptible, your immune system is compromised. Look, I'm not coming down on you for this. I'm coming down on a judge in San Antonio for this. You don't want to go outside yet. That's fine. I'm not telling you have to go outside yet. If you want to use wisdom and exercise caution, that's fine. If you want to watch church from your internet and not go into a physical house yet, that's between you and God. I'm not going to be the one to hammer you on that. But I believe that this is just another step. They're separating us. They're keeping us apart. They're making trips to the grocery store, trips to Walmart. I enjoy trips to Walmart because I talk to everybody. I talk to the people in Walmart that I know. I talk to people in Walmart I don't know. I know a lot of the Walmart workers. Why? Because I talk to them all the time. And because I go so often, they're like, hey, Joey, seriously, they really do. Some people don't like that experience. I don't want you to take that away, but they're separating us. Jeff, you're right. Your customers don't have time. I'm going to post that one. Jeff does heating and air. My customers don't have time to wait for a scared technician. And I would imagine if Jeff has scared technicians, then Jeff might have fewer technicians. I don't know. Not putting words in Jeff's mouth. I'm just saying. Build me a fear-free custom house on custom land with monthly check and catered meals. There you go. Now, I want to wrap this up, and I want to tell you exactly how fear actually is a disability. Okay? Let's go to the one book that is higher than any other book. Okay? I'm going to show you something that I have known for a long time. Now, I started this little section with the fact that God hasn't given us a spirit of fear. Jamie, Jamie's trying to co-host tonight. That's fine. That's fine. Let's go right here. I bring this up, and I'm just bringing up a verse so you can see this. The one book that is higher than any other book. And let's find out what it has to say about fear. I'm going to read to you the King James first, okay? In Hebrews chapter 2 and verse 15, or 4, let's read 14. For as much then as the children are partakers of flesh and blood, he also, Jesus, likewise took part in the same, that through death he might destroy him that had the power of death, that is the devil. Now look verse 15 right here. Jesus came to deliver them who through fear of death were all their lifetime subject to bondage. The fear of death makes you subject to bondage. Fear binds you. Let's look at it in the NIV here really quickly. Scroll down here and let's go straight to verse 15. And Jesus, and free those who all their lives were held in slavery by their fear of death. Folks, that's what COVID-19 is. COVID-19 and the fear of COVID-19 literally is a fear of death. People don't want to get that, and I understand that. And I realize, again, let me go back and clarify. Some people are showing respect for the disease because of a compromised immune system or because of being in a certain age bracket or whatever the case may be. There is a respect for this. I understand the respect for this. I have a respect for your respect for this. My mother-in-law is in a higher age category than I am, and that's all I'm going to say about that in case she happens to be watching. But she has shown respect for this, and she has socially distanced herself, and I respect that. And not once did she say, I'm scared. Not one time has my mother-in-law said, I'm scared of that thing. If she did, I didn't hear it. She had respect for the people around her, respect, and we've tried to respect her. And I go check on her and make sure she's okay and she's all right. She'll tell us if she needs something to be done. Generally, somebody that's younger, like me, or her granddaughter, will go get something for her. That's fine. That's fine. We're not afraid. Fear leads to slavery. And that's the one time, that is the one time that I would say fear is a disability. Well, I mean, it really is a disability, but fear is a disability. Fear binds you. Fear keeps you in slavery. Fear will make you afraid. Fear will make you enslaved. Fear will keep you bound. Fear will keep you tucked. Fear will keep you from doing the things that God has designed you to do. We talked about this just the other night. You're essential. You have something that God put you on the planet to do. You are not non-essential. Every one of you is essential. Every one of you has a gift from God. Gifts from God. Gifts, plural, from God. I don't think any one of you has just one gift. I believe that you all have gifts from God, and you're going to learn more about those gifts the older you get. I have gifts that I'm using now that I didn't use when I was younger, and I have gifts that I used when I was younger that I may not be using as much of right now. God made you, and He made you well, and you are essential, and fear will keep you from being all that God wanted you to be. Stop telling yourself that you're not essential. Stop telling yourself that you're not worthy. Stop telling yourself that you don't have a purpose. You have a purpose, but fear keeps you from being and doing that purpose. Fear is a disability for that. So from that sense, and I doubt very seriously that that judge had God in mind when he gave this senseless ruling, I think that voters should have the right to vote by letter carriers and not with disease carriers. Don't you ever call me a disease carrier. My diseases, by the way, were taken care of on the cross. My sicknesses, by the way, were taken care of on the cross. I am not a disease carrier. And I may find out, I mean, when I give blood, I may find out that I have antibodies in my blood, that disease or that virus came through, and I didn't know it. And I'll tell you what else. Nobody else in my house knew it either. And I'll even say one more thing. If it brushed by me, I didn't shed it to you. Heard that term a lot lately, spreading and shedding. I didn't spread or shed anything to you. If that disease got to me, then it died. That's all I really need to say about that. Sean, you... Let me throw this one up there. Yes, Amy, I'm preaching tonight. But I do have a license. So there's that. Well, do you understand? I hope everybody gets that. I look, I hope that, I don't know. Let me read these two things. Which one would you rather have as your slogan? Okay. Citizens should have the option to choose voting by letter carrier versus voting with disease carriers, or God hasn't given me the spirit of fear, but a spirit of power and of love and of a sound mind. Which one would you rather use? There you go. Don Hyde's awake. I don't even know, man. I'm sorry. I haven't even been looking. I apologize if I haven't been giving shout outs tonight. My goodness. I'm sorry. Lots of folks have stopped in and out tonight. I have no, look, I'll find out a little bit more later. Don Hyde's awake tonight. Dog shed. Jesus protects. That's right. I'm a king's kid. Let's scroll down. Amen. And thank you for saying amen. Same book. Jamie says the same book that says, let a sluggard starve. Go to work, people. Go to the polls and vote. Jeff, I made an assumption, but apparently it was the correct assumption. Very good. Very good. Jamie, we may have to have you co-host one of these times. I have to bring some of you guys on here with me sometime. I want to give you an opportunity. You guys have been commenting so well for so long. Maddie, thanks for stopping by tonight. I have absolutely no idea. This other monitor, I need to check. I have no idea who else has come on tonight, but for those of you who have stopped by tonight and stayed with me tonight, thank you very much. I want to say thank you for all of those things. Looked like somebody else. I'm trying to find it before I leave, and I do want to say thank you to the sponsors here one more time. So as I'm saying thank you to our sponsors, let me see if this will come up. Oh, well. Man. Yes, Amy, I was preaching. Jace, thanks for watching tonight. Lots of other folks have stopped by. I keep getting little frowny faces, too. Some of the little frowny faces are going up. I'm sorry. If I made you angry, I apologize. I really didn't mean to. Seriously, I didn't mean to. But if I did. All right, here we go. Don Hyde is awake tonight. Don, if you are watching this right now, man, it was my turn to give advice tonight. So there you go. All right. Thanks again to Alliance Mortgage Group, to Castile's Tire, TW's in Calera, Friends of the Library, Kiamichi Tech, Holmes Coffee Murray Funeral Home, Modern Abstract, Shelburne Heating and Air just happened to be in this segment tonight. Greg Miller is, by the way, Greg Phillips. My brother went to school with a guy named Greg Miller. Sorry, Greg. Greg Phillips Insurance, Texoma Engraving, Woodman Life, Cherokee Communications, the Durant Riding Club Pro Rodeo, which will be June 19th and 20th, Green Spray, Hub Club Nutrition and Texoma Engraving, Omnicare 365, SNL Collision Center, Stuyvesant Chevrolet, and Workout Anytime. And I am going to... Brian says, if I was afraid, certainly would be working EMS nowadays. Nope, no fear. No fear here. And I'm going to leave on this one because I like this one a lot. Jeff, thank you. Thank you very much. And you are in my segment tonight. You're in the generally where I mention you on a Thursday, but we didn't do Thursdays. So, Jeff, thanks a whole lot tonight. Thanks to everybody for watching. I seriously couldn't do it without my advertisers and sponsors. And I couldn't do it without you because I appreciate you cheering me on when I get to preach every now and again. So that's the cool thing. This show is not for sissies. No, it's not. It's not. But we want to bring everyone along. So I want to, and if Paula Sullivan is still watching, thank you, because you've been here since the beginning of the show tonight. I did want to say thanks for the idea. I want to announce it too. May have some different people on. If you have already dealt with this virus and you have recovered, then good for you, number one. Praise God. But number two, if you or you know of somebody that would like to talk about your experience, I wanted to offer that. And again, I don't want to dox anybody. Don't want to put anybody out there. If that's something that's between you and your family and you and your physician, that's all well and good. And I'm really, it amazes me how much I see on local social media. Well, they just need to give names. They just need to give names because we need to know who those people came in contact with. It's really none of your business. And I know we're in the middle of a quote unquote pandemic. I understand that. But if these people go home and they shelter and they quarantine themselves for 14 days, that's, you just keep being you, strong bad or strong sad, and we'll go from there. All right, Bryan, you'll find out on June 11th. All right. Well, we've nearly hit the hour mark. I just want to invite everyone to do that. Thank you. You guys are awesome. I am going to be helping somebody move tomorrow. It's Memorial Day weekend. We may give a short shout out on Memorial Day night. I really want to say how thankful I am for those who need to be honored and remembered during Memorial Day. So I want to say right now, first off, there's a chance we'll have a show tomorrow. There's a chance we may not. I am helping somebody move, good friend of the family, and it's a Saturday and it's Memorial Day weekend. And I don't know, it may rain. I'm not sure, but we'll find something out. So for Robert and Jamie, I'll try to get the barbecue stain taken care of on this thing because you guys have completely freaked me out about that. May do a show tomorrow night, may not. And again, same thing on Monday. Definitely we'll be back on Tuesday. But if we get a chance, I want to give a shout out to to everyone. And look, be wise. No, Jamie, you did not win anything for this. I'm sure you're going to win something someday, but not for freaking me out. Be wise in what you're doing. Use discretion. Have a great Memorial Day weekend. Seriously, remember what Memorial Day weekend is for. We honor those who have given their lives in service for us, and we definitely want to do that. So remember what Memorial Day weekend is all about, and just be, don't walk in fear. There we go. Don't walk in fear. See, Jamie, look, I'm trying to get off the show right now, and you're causing separation in my family because Jody wants to know when we had barbecue. She thinks I had barbecue that I didn't let her in on. So I don't, anyway, Tracy, thank you very much. I appreciate you watching tonight too. I think it ended well. So we'll get off before we hit the hour mark. God bless all of you and us. Have a good Memorial Day weekend. Maybe back tomorrow, maybe Monday, definitely on Tuesday. Let's keep it up. God bless you all.